The mannequin in the corner. The chill wasn't just from the December air. It was the kind that sank into your bones and stayed there, whispering. Elias knew it well. It was the perpetual climate of the dusty, forgotten antique shop he'd inherited from his great-aunt Mildred. Tonight, he was finishing the inventory in the back storage room, a space rarely entered, smelling of moth-eaten velvet and varnish. The only light came from a bare bulb swinging lazily overhead, casting dancing shadows across the mountains of forgotten furniture. As he checked off a chipped porcelain doll, his flashlight beam swept across the far corner. It landed on a mannequin. It wasn't an ordinary dress form. It was a vintage piece, painted a pale, uncanny flesh color, with long, thin limbs and heavy, lidded eyes that somehow looked both empty and observant. Elias didn't remember seeing it before. Mildred had hundreds of these things, though, tucked away. He noted it down, item 47, female display figure, C. 1920s. He moved on, compiling a list of tarnished silver. 15 minutes later, a sudden sharp thud from the corner made him jump. He spun around, heart hammering. The flashlight beam shot straight back to the mannequin. It hadn't moved. But the stack of old hardback books that had been resting on a nearby tea chest now lay scattered on the floor around its feet. Just a settling shelf, he muttered, trying to sound convinced. The building was old. Elias bent down to pick up the books. When he straightened up, he paused. He was certain the mannequin had been facing the wall when he first found it, its profile stark and silent. Now its blank gaze seemed to be directed toward the center of the room, towards him. He felt a prickle of cold sweat on his neck. No, it's too heavy to swivel. It's too heavy to... I must have remembered wrong. It's facing the door. He finished the silver and decided that was enough for the night. He backed away, keeping the cold painted figure in his line of sight until he reached the door. He flipped the light switch, plunging the room into darkness, then quickly pulled the heavy bolt across the door. He turned to walk through the main shop, eager for the streetlights outside. As he passed the main display window, he froze. The glass reflected the dark interior of the shop. In the reflection, he saw the bolted storage door, and standing directly in front of that door, where no one and nothing should be in the dark, was the tall, pale shape of the mannequin. It was facing him, only a pane of glass and the length of the shop between them. Elias couldn't breathe. He knew with a certainty that iced his blood that the door was locked. The mannequin couldn't have moved. Then, very slowly, the reflection of the mannequin's heavy-lidded eyes seemed to blink. Elias didn't wait. He threw the front lock, fumbled with the key, and burst out into the blessed, noisy street, not looking back. The next morning, the police found the front door unlocked and open. The cash register was untouched. The only thing missing, they noted, was a single inventory ledger. Elias never went back inside. He sold the building, fixtures and all, to a clearance company the next day. A week later, the manager of the clearance company called him. "We found the ledger, Mr. Thorne. It was on the floor of the storage room. But there's a weird note on the last page. Seems like you wrote it?" Elias swallowed hard. "Read it." The manager cleared his throat. "It just says, item 47, inventory complete, moving to front display. It looks cold in the corner." Elias didn't reply. He knew he hadn't written it. "There's one other thing, Mr. Thorne," the manager continued, his voice tight. "When we hauled the furniture out, we realized something odd about that old mannequin. You see the feet? They're worn down. It looks like it's been walking for years."